What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode of the Spectator Mode Podcast. I'm your host, Keith Mitchell, as always, because my other guys are dead or dying or missing in action. So I called upon a friend to jump in and help, and we got Baron from LV1 Gaming jumping in. Baron, what is up, man?
What is good? You know what? I'm hoping the team all heals up. I hope they get their revive kits and Phoenix Downs and all the other fun video game references and medicine.
Man,
And hopefully everybody heals up quick.
Busted. They are all busted right now. It's like you're playing basketball and your star player goes out, and then the backup goes out, and then it's like, oh, all right, we're screwed.
We get it together.
We're screwed.
I'm glad to be here. Seriously, it's always a good time.
So, speaking of good times, we got a lot of cool things to talk about. Some of the things you may have heard about, but I don't care. We're going to talk about them again. Before we do anything, I want to do one little thing we do every beginning of every podcast. We talk about the games that we were playing or have played this week, other than those that are embargoed, because we don't talk about those things. So, Baron, you're a guest. What have you been playing?
So, there was Fallout 76. I was pretty heavy on that, running my life away, running the fashionate holiday event. Played the life out of that, but then a little game from NetEase called Once Human.
So
finally released.
You played the beta, right?
A couple of the betas. So there was a few betas. I've definitely invested quite a bit of time into this game, and I always end up doing that. I did it with Lost Ark. I did it with
man. What happened to Lost Ark? That just fell off.
Yeah, I think Diablo 4 clipped its wings. And then there was another one from Amazon. I can't believe I'm blanking on it. Amazon Games, New World.
Yeah,
I put in I have this thing where I get caught up in a game that allows me to fish, hunt, craft, and so now Once Human is the new thing.
That New World is coming out for consoles now.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared.
I talked about it we checked. Did you not play it at Summer Game Fest?
No, because I'm not as cool as you. Why do we all look? Let me just make it clear while I'm on Spectator Mode.
Opportunities. You got opportunities that I don't get, and vice versa. It's just how it goes.
You guys see that's how like rich people talk. They're like, oh, we don't have much.
I wish I was rich.
Look, we don't have much. It's meek.
We don't have a lot of money.
It's a jet. It's a jet in the backyard.
It's a couple of days old.
Yeah. Oh man, it's definitely last month's model. But yeah, so you're cooler than me. But speaking of New World, but yeah, so Once Human, that's what I've been playing. Like I literally was playing it until you hit record here. So yeah, definitely been playing a lot of Once Human.
Anything else?
Nope. Dragon's Dogma has been on ice. I haven't unsealed Rise of the Ronin. I got a couple of embargo things that I need to work on. And yeah, so the other game that I've been playing is embargo. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Well, if you haven't seen me the last couple of days, folks, or the last week or so, you would know that a game, the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree came out, which I've been on like crack. And
you and Erica, I swear.
Erica is a bad influence. I was trying to wean myself off of it, so I blame her. But I beat the game, obviously, so I'm not going to go into I'm going to go into this because there's a lot of back and forth about the game being hard. I'm just tired of complaining about that crap. It's not hard. Some of the mechanics are trash. I will say that. There are certain couple of bosses that are just terrible, but the game is obviously manageable. I beat the game before it came out with no guides or anything, or no help because nobody's playing online. So it is beatable, folks. And I'm tired of certain streamers saying that they didn't make the game for people to beat in a couple of days, and it's kind of funny because Erica and I were talking about. Erica did the review for us because we were at Summer Game Fest. So I came back from Summer Game Fest on the Friday.
Okay.
And the game came out, I think, the Tuesday?
Yeah, something like that. It was It was while everything was going on.
Right. So I had 2 days to play through the game, and I beat the game before it came out. So for that person who said they didn't make the game so you can beat it in 2 days, I beat it in 2 days. I'm not bragging or anything because I just live on these kind of games. But right now
Yeah.
I'm playing through it with a friend from the Outerhaven. I don't know how. I think I might have pointed a gun at him or threatened his life or something to play the game. So he's playing it, but now he's like, I love playing this game. I love playing this game. And he's playing it nonstop. It's like, I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. This is the stuff I'm talking about. It's not hard. It's enjoyable. And when you play with friends, it's even better, with the exception of that busted co-op system. It's just
Do you think we'll ever get a drop out multiplayer system within
from software?
FarmSoft games?
Well, we have it, but it's not from them.
No, that's what I'm saying. I know it's a mod,
No.
and they said I think it was Jez Gordon who was like, on Twitter, he was like, the mod is amazing. Yeah. Like being able to just, because that's a big thing for me that like I think of my game of the year at this point, Helldivers 2. Like that is right. Even though, and once again, I know we're not here to talk about that. Its biggest sin was coming out at the beginning of the year. That's his biggest sin.
Because people are gonna,
yeah, like there's a game like that should have definitely dropped like right now. Should have dropped now, and it would have carried it over into the award season. But now it's gonna get overlooked by any and everything else.
Yep.
But it is still like game of the year for me. And but that drop in, drop out multiplayer is a game changer. Like that makes you never really feel alone. And I feel like more multiplayer games need that, especially as the player base of games is aged. Like,
yeah.
It's like I have a 9-to-5. I got 3 kids. I got a wife. I got, you know what I mean? Outside of all of the gaming stuff. So the ability to be able to, and then maybe I can't coordinate with Keith. Like, hey, well, Keith is on at this time, and I won't get on for another 3 hours. And then he's logging off as I'm logging in. And now I'm hoping that this mark on the ground is going to help me.
I hate that. I hate that so much. And even then, it's not even just a mark on the ground. You got to be in the same place. You got to make sure that you have the item so you can see the thing on the ground. And even then, the second that you do co-op, you're going to get invaded. Even with passwords, you get invaded. And it's like,
yes.
And now when I'm playing with my friend and he's not as experienced, he doesn't have decent gear, and we get invaded, and it's like a 50% chance that the person who invades us is not really good, or they come in and see this level 200 guy and they go, oh, and they stop.
Well, then even the difficulty of if the main person dies and having to makes all the stars align again.
Yeah. So, and what makes it worse is there are certain places within Elden Ring that the world's completely changed. Obviously, I'm going to spoil stuff because the game's been out for 2 years now. There's one city or one world location that when you do a certain thing, the world changes. So it's not the same location as your friend anymore. It's the same place, but they're different now. So we're playing that place right now, and the only site of grace that we can actually get to is the very beginning. So we played through it, and then he either died, and he's like towards the end, or we get invaded, and we got
all the way back,
and it's like
just to drop a mark, and
it's like you know what? Share your screen on Discord, and I will tell you where to go because we're not doing this anymore. We'll go to the next one.
Yeah, but and you could it would add the idea of adding more longevity to a game that's already got plenty of longevity. Like, people are going to be playing Elden Ring for the next 20 years. Easy.
Yeah.
Like, it easy, without debate. So, now imagine if you make it to where at any given moment, hey, y'all, I'm stuck. Who's on? I got you. And then we just jump in. Like, they even keep the same mechanics.
They should be doing what Remnant does.
Thank you.
The browser, the browser. All these people are here. I want to jump in, but the problem is, I don't want to say From Software is lazy because they're not lazy and they're phenomenal what they do. But I just think that they don't have the mindset to think about things like that. They don't care about that, and unfortunately, it makes it feel like that co-op is just something that's just tossed in afterwards. It's not refined. They don't
That's
really
true.
touch upon that, which is really bothersome. When you get games like Remnant from the Ashes and Remnant 2, they go, we care about the drop in, drop out. We care about if you die, we can bring you back to life. It's no game over. Things like that. And it's like, all right, I'm done playing. You just stop playing. And the kicker, I don't know how we started this, but the kicker is
I know we really
crossplay.
went on.
Crossplay.
Yeah.
Come on. Every online game needs crossplay. End the discussion. Done. There needs to be crossplay.
Yeah, 100%.
Come on. You got to have crossplay. You have to have crossplay. And again, it's not that From Software is lazy. I don't know what's going on. Because as crappy as Elden Ring performs on every platform, and I will say it is performing crappy because I've had a lot of places where even my machine is like 30 frames. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here?
Or even you getting hit by like delayed frames. I seen that clip you put up. That was hilarious.
Oh, that is ridiculous. There's a lot of bosses like that. It's like, I didn't even get hit. It's like,
you're over there. Clearly like the blades here, you're over here, you're still getting hit.
That game does that. It has a lot of places that does that. There's one place in the game right now where I'm fighting the boss again with another person, and the boss is so big but so slow, and it just feels like it's slowing down the entire game right there. It's not like you're getting frame delay. It's just like there's like latency. It's just like, why am I moving so slow all of a sudden? Because I'm in this room with
like trying to keep you guys at the same pace. Like that's weird.
But I love the game. I love it.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I play it. There's a reason why I've had multiple copies of the game. I really enjoy Elden Ring. I just do better From Software. You've shown us what you can do with Armored Core 6. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. You can freaking do it. But yeah.
I beat the main story and put it down. Never again.
I haven't really played much of anything other than Elden Ring, to be honest with you.
You're a sick man.
No, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think here. No. There's been nothing but Elden Ring. Hey guys, look, if you don't
donate $1,
or if you hadn't heard, I lost my job of 19 years. So Elden Ring is my therapy. It's making me feel better. I'm not putting my hand through the fist of my monitor or anything, and just playing the game and killing things and being killed at the same time. But I'm gonna make a video about Elden Ring later because I do want to do a video about tips for people who are just starting to play the game. Because I know there's a lot. And I know there's a lot of videos out there saying, do this, get good. No. That sucks. Don't listen to that. This get good mentality is trash. Don't listen to those people ever again. Don't. Anyway.
Preach.
Let's get on to the topics. Jeez.
Yeah, right.
So first one is very cool. I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this, but Double Dragon is getting a remake called Double Dragon Revive, which is interesting because it's reviving the very first Double Dragon from Technos way back when. I remember playing that in the arcade and playing it on the NES and the Sega Master System and going, wow, I can only play one player and arcade is two players. So,
the future is now.
Oh man, there's not a lot of information about it other than it's just going to be a remake. It's going to be 3D, which is cool, but also like 3D, or please don't drop the ball. It kind of feels like, oh, hey, Sega's working on this new Streets of Rage, and is it not going to be in 3D?
The next Streets of Rage, what is Streets of Rage 5?
Well, they're doing a retro thing where they're bringing out certain clocks like Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio.
Yeah,
and I think the Streets of Rage is 3D, so it's like, hey, we're going to do this now in 3D.
Well, I didn't read up on anything, but I seen the trailer for Double Dragon Revive, and I like I don't know if you caught the hints of like the way you can interact with the environment, like knocking enemies into trash cans, and like I'm thinking that's good. I love that the side scroller beat 'em up genre is really making a big swing back.
Yeah.
And I mean, you got Jay and Silent Bob, you have River City Girls 2 is coming out with their physical collector's edition. And then Streets of Rage 5. Yeah.
Revenge.
Like it's a lot of games.
And now we got a Karate Kid one coming out.
Yeah, and that looks badass. Okay, so Double Dragon. I like the idea of this. I just hate that I can't get my Kunio series. Like, there's this very specific Kunio series.
Again.
Look, there's a very specific Kunio series game that the closest thing out there is, funny enough, a guy from, is he PM Studios? He put Yao Seo. I'm butchering his name. He made the my friends of Ringo. Ichikawa or something like that. Friends of Ringo, and then he made Fading Tomorrow, which is his newest title. Those are the closest thing I'm getting to my Kunio series. But with Double Dragon, I wonder if there's going to be an RPG element or if it's going to be just hardcore classic.
This is just going to beat them up because we got the RPG with Double Dragon Rise of the Dragons or Double Dragon Gaiden Rise of the Dragon, which is a phenomenal game. If you've not played that game, go do it. And you can play without the RPG elements if you don't want it. But it's a great beat 'em up. You definitely should play that game.
I want stats and points and levels and loot. No,
I just want Jimmy and Billy and kicking ass. And maybe it was just me, but I thought that trailer looked like it was Howard Geese. And I'm like, that doesn't remind me of anybody in Double Dragon. Who's this cat?
I was gonna say that, and I had it written down. I was like, man, where's the characters from the movie? Because I love the movie. Like, I know a lot of people didn't. I love the Street Fighter movie. Like,
the Street Fighter movie is great for its own reason, but the Double Dragon, trash.
I loved it. Ugly, homely, Bobo. Like, come on. I loved it. That was a bad
movie.
It was a great movie. And then the dragon dried, and he throwing trash into the canister to go fat. Come on, it was glorious.
I just hope the game is not bad. Fingers crossed, because last time that ArcSys did a Double Dragon game, Double Dragon 4, it was trash. It was super trash. They tried to do too much retro Double Dragon, and it was bad.
Do you think they should have just did a fighter? Because we know Arc Systems does.
No. We should have did a fighter, but they tried to go back and do like Double Dragon 1, Double Dragon 2, and it kept it like that. And the sprites and everything. It was like, no, don't. We want you to progress, not go backwards. And then the mechanics were just so bad. I played that game and I reviewed it. I was like, this is the worst Double Dragon I've ever played. So many issues. And I thought I was going to get ridiculed when I said that, but I looked at everybody else's review and they're like the same thing. They're like, what was this game? Why did they do this?
Don't you love when you're validated? Like, I hate when I feel like I'm going to be an outlier in something. And then all the reviews go up, and it's like, oh, so I wasn't crazy. Okay, that's literally the feeling. It's like, oh, I wasn't nuts. Like,
I love that. I love when I say something and I'm like, man, somebody's
and it feels spicy. Yeah, like it's like, and then all of a sudden, looks like I wasn't the only one.
My fingers are crossed for that because again, I'm a big fan of Double Dragon, big fan. But switching gears.
Yes.
So you mentioned you were playing Once Human, and I saw this at the Summer Game Fest, and I remember you guys had played this. I remember you were fiending hard for it. It was you, and I think Fam, and I think somebody else was like, I really want to get into the beta, and I was like, it just looks like another. What does it remind me of? It definitely reminds me of another game. It escapes me, but
yes.
How is it?
Okay, so Once Human takes the mechanics from a lot of different games. So all in this same game, you have little creatures you can capture out in the wilderness, but they're very it's like they're like a resource, so they kind of pop up over time. And like I've been able to farm. They're called deviants, and with these deviants, they all have different abilities. So this is one element of the game. So there's the deviants you fight, and then there's the deviants you can capture. But it's not like Pokemon where you can, like, there's a bunch of them to always capture. So there is a creature capture element. There's base building. There's fishing. There's crafting. There's a whole detailed story that I really don't follow because I'm just looting, shooting, crafting, and fishing. Doing all the things that you don't do on a normal basis in real life, but I enjoy in video games. Like I don't have a smithy, but if there's smithing and crafting in a game, I'm your guy. If you're looking for a dedicated crafter, I'm that guy, just throwing my hat out there. But
I've never been a fan of not the crafting. I love crafting, but I've never been a fan of base building. I could never get behind that.
Yeah, any base I personally build is usually very just this is what I need. Here's the four walls. Here's an ugly staircase that leads up to the next floor, where the flooring of the second floor is just the ceiling from the first floor. It's not even proper flooring. And the walls are just like walls. There's no windows. It's not pretty. It's like just, hey, I need an object and it fits here. So then there's another object that kind of works with it, so I'll put it here. But long story short, it has the element. It has great shooting. There's a first person shooter. You can go in the first person. It is third person over the shoulder overall, but you can aim down iron sights or whatever scope your gun has, and it adjusts accordingly. Like you can aim down sights on your crossbow, or if you attach a specialty, like there's how do I'm trying my best to describe it, because Rings, shout out to Rings. He was like, I'm up to 16 games that it has elements from. Jeez. That you could, like, the bike system reminds him of Days Gone, because there is a bike system that you get pretty early. There are other vehicles, like there's cars and whatnot, but you start off with a bike pretty soon, and each bike part can break. There's fuel you have to worry about. You have to worry about eating. It is a survival crafting game, so there's eating, which you won't die from not eating and not having water. You just won't be able to sprint, and your stamina bar is
okay. That's gone. Good, because I remember talking to them at Summer Game Fest, and they were like, "You got to eat food." And the first thing that came to my mind was, oh God, if I don't eat food, I'm gonna die. All right, I don't care about this already. Thank you. And he never explained all of that to me.
Yeah, like you won't die from lack of food, but you will just be, it'll make things difficult and add a new element. But the one thing that makes me extremely happy with this game is that they respect your time in terms of gathering resources. Now, yes, some resources are a little more difficult to get, and you got to either fight a boss or something like that, but in 5 minutes, you can go and harvest 200-300 logs of wood. In another 5 minutes, you can go and get 60-70 things of copper. And like it respects your time. And then as you get higher rank gear in terms, like it's one tool to do everything. So you got a pickaxe that has a blade on one side and then a pick on the other, and that is to mine for resources and to cut down trees. So,
okay.
Yeah, and it only takes up one slot, and that's a huge. It's funny, that's something I haven't seen too many people talk about, but that is a huge, because normally with most survival games, you got to have a saw to cut down the wood, to saw in the pieces of the wood that you cut down with your axe. And then you need the pickaxe to get the ore. Then you need usually need different things for each.
And no rest for the wicked, the game I was playing and I kept talking about, but I was waiting for a while to update. They make you use a pickaxe and a pick and then an axe. And I'm like, come on, man. No, a shovel and a pick. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Just give me one thing that does everything and I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what this game does. And then there's a day and night cycle. Enemies spawn at a decent rate to where even if the servers are full, you never really feel like you're completely left out. They kind of tweaked with the party system. So in one of the previous betas, it was set up to where you have these things called war bands, hives, and teams. So team is just something you can do with anybody. Like if you run into the world and you run into somebody, it's like, hey, you can send them a message and add them to your team. You guys run around, and then when you're done, you go about your way. Then you have a hive, which, if I'm not mistaken, is 4 people. It's 8 people. It's small, but you guys can create like a clan type thing, and you guys can build a house, or at least that's what was in the older build. And then you guys got to share resources. So like one person could just go out and harvest all day, which is something I would do. And then I would just drop it into the containers, and then everybody in the hive would just craft and do what you wanted to do. And it would just utilize the resources there. It was great. I loved it. And I was hoping they would keep it. Now, maybe I'm just haven't done it right, but it seems like there's there's certain items that we can no longer share that we used to be able to share. And it made things easier. And I'm kind of Like I could craft a piece of gear, and I get it. They're trying to make their money. That let's be real, that's what a lot of it is.
Oh
Because,
yeah. Oh yeah.
like, let's say I come across a blueprint for an item that I had the RNG for. That's a rare one. Well, it's not like I can build the weapon for my friends, and I was hoping we'd be able to. Like, hey, let me, and maybe I just haven't figured out how to do it because one complaint I've heard with Once Human is that there's a lot of intricate mechanics. And there is, like, so for example, when it comes to building a weapon, so with each weapon, there's blueprints you find in the world, and it's not like you find, hey, I found the blueprint. Some weapons require a certain amount of that same blueprint, so you could have like 75% of the blueprint, and then who knows how long it takes before you get that last 25%.
I've seen a game do that before, and it always frustrated me. It's like if I find a blueprint, I find the blueprint, not I found the back and the front of the gun, and I need to find the rest. Like, it's a gun. Why did not have the whole gun?
That is what you run into often, especially with higher tier stuff. Sometimes you get lucky. Like I had a random drop where it gave me a gold tier, or I think that's like the 4th tier because it goes green, blue, purple, gold. Yeah, 4th tier blueprint, and it gave me the whole thing. Like it was just a full drop, and I was like, oh, that's badass. One big positive, even though there is a shit ton of microtransactions that are in the game.
Well, it's free to play though, right?
It's free to play, but yeah. I have yet to feel the need to spend money like that. And I've put in a lot of time into the game. I've crafted, I'm up to tier 4 crafting on my gear, and I have yet to feel the need, like, damn it, there's this one item I need to get and I can't seem to find it, but there it is in the store. Like, I haven't ran into that personally. Now, I can't speak for everybody, but I will say that that's a big positive. And then
this is a NetEase game, right?
Yeah.
Wow, I'm only saying it because usually they make their games to the point where you need to purchase something from microtransactions. So that's
maybe they've learned, because I know with like Naraka Blade Point, I've never felt the need to spend money in Naraka Blade Point either. I used to play a lot of that, and that's through NetEase. So maybe they're learning. It's there though. Like they're going to make a lot of money through cosmetics and emotes and whatnot. Like, because it is there. There's some cool stuff that's in the stores, and of course, there's the event store. There's the buddy store. There's the battle pass. There's the monthly. They have like a monthly thing similar to 76.
Get away from games like this? Can we just stop doing this, please?
But I look, your gripes and frustration are valid. I'm not arguing against that. But what I am saying is, I have not felt the need to spend that money yet. And I haven't felt like there's some barrier or block that's locked behind the paywall. My one of my big complaints is there's a black hairstyle that is locked behind paywall.
Oh, no.
And it's not like it's the only hairstyle. There is another hairstyle that's locked behind it. But to have braids, like how my hair is now, like braids pulled back, like that, or it looks like locks pulled back into a ponytail with a fade on the side. And I was like, did you really lock one of 3 black hairstyles behind a paywall? I literally screenshot it, and I don't know if I'm gonna do a write-up or just a tweet or a TikTok, but I'm gonna do a whole thing about it. But yeah, that was something that bothered me. I was like, really? Like, it's not like they don't even have Afro 1, Afro 2, and fade. Like, normally that was like they don't even have the Killmonger. So to have one of like 3 black hairstyles.
I hate the fact that we call that the Killmonger now.
Yeah, it's the Killmonger, 100%. And I'm mad because you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the Killmonger, but it existed before. But I get you, it's the Killmonger.
Yeah, it's the Killmonger now, like 1,000%. Especially in anything gaming, it's the Killmonger. But yeah, so long story short, if I had to sell Once Human to somebody, it is a very large survival crafting game with short seasons. Now, this is something that a lot of people are going to be pissed about, and I did a video about it. The first 2 seasons are 6 weeks each, which 6 weeks ain't shit. Sorry for cussing. I don't know if we can cuss.
We cuss all the time here.
Okay, 6 weeks is not shit for an adult. For somebody with stuff to do, with other games to play, for a season to be locked behind 6 weeks is very short. Now, the problem and why the seasons is such a big deal is you're going to be reset after 6 weeks. Your characters now, the silver lining, I guess, the not so negative is that any blueprints, any cosmetics, anything you found, and even the design of your house. So, like, let's say you built a house with top tier products, like from based on what I've read in their update. If you built a house from like top tier bricks or top tier everything, and then all of a sudden, like with like end game products, when you have that blueprint saved, you could rebuild it in your next season with low tier products. So like,
but wait, when the season ends, like your level and everything gets reset though.
Yeah, they send you back to one.
That's I don't know.
And their reasoning, which I'm not for it because I don't play too many games that do this. Like when you look at Fallout 76, they do a good job of blending the world. Like you'll be running with somebody who's level 1,000 in Fallout 76, but it doesn't feel like it. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like they are just a million times better than me. It does a good job of where I can run around with these people, and it doesn't feel like I'm not able to contribute. So their complaint and their reasoning is we want people to be able to jump in and feel like they're doing something. Now, in my head, either create more servers or just have more events, or maybe rubber band the world, or like I don't know. It just seems.
I don't like that just because
I don't like it. I don't like it.
Like in my scenario, okay, look at this. So say I'm playing a game, I'm having fun. Say maybe it's week 2 and all of a sudden I have to stop work, something happened in my life, whatever, and I'm doing good. And I come back and it goes, oh, you're reset. Like, so I did all this stuff, and because my life happened, you decided to reset the stuff I did, and now I'm back at square one. So maybe I'm like, maybe I don't want to play this anymore.
And so going on with that, the deviants, the little characters you create, I didn't see mentioned anywhere that you get to keep your deviants. And that's something that bothers me. I'm like, bro, what if I found a rare deviant that did something magical that I like? Like I got a deviant that increases the speed of my furnaces, which like if I want to melt down and making metals to craft, it speeds it up dramatically. So that's pretty damn cool. That's like, and I haven't seen another one. So I'm like, oh, I got lucky. Now in 5 weeks, because I mean, we're basically hitting week 2 in a few days from this recording point. So you're telling me this rare beast that I got that I haven't seen another of is gonna be gone, and I'm gonna have to struggle till I find another one. And
if you find another one,
if I find, yeah,
what like if a lot of it's RNG. So yeah, if you find it,
what if they don't bring them back next season? What if they take them out of the pool? Like, you know what I mean? So there's so much, and that's actually something I'm gonna put on Twitter to ask them. Like, I'm definitely gonna ask that. Like, hey, do I get to keep my deviants? Because if I get to keep my deviants, I might not complain as much. To be honest with you, but the thing that bothers me is the excuse for the new players. That's not good enough for me.
There are plenty of games out there where
that's not good enough,
and it is what it is. You catch up, or you stop playing, or you have a level cap, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm level 50, and that's the cap.
But they did say that in the future they're going to put in permanent servers, and I did mention in the video that I probably will jump to a permanent stable server when that time comes, because like, you know me, man, I pick up and put down games all day. Like, I really do. Folks, here's a warning. If you buy a game to play it with Baron, you're making a mistake.
Yes.
I promise you, you are making a grave financial mistake.
He might not come back.
Ask any of my friends.
Something else.
Ask Keith. I've done it to Keith. Nobody is free from
Nobody
that.
Is safe.
Yeah, like I
You
feel
played so
bad to
many years.
Johnny who refuses. Shout out to Johnny, man. He refuses to expand his memory on his computer or even get an external. And I told him, I was like, bro, why do you think I keep so many games installed? Because I will get a random itch to go back and play Bannerlord. Like I just will randomly play a game, and if the game's not installed, the chances of me randomly playing it drops down dramatically. So,
Fair
because
enough. Fair enough.
Steam takes forever to install games. My God. Oh, but yeah.
But you might need to change a different location if it's taking that long for you.
Oh, it takes forever. It's
Swap
so
it
bad.
up. Swap it up.
Ugh.
All right. Well, have fun with One Human. I'm not really sure. I like the fact that I have to
Yeah,
keep going
that's fair.
back. I'll wait for those dedicated servers. I don't like that idea. So there's that. But what I do like is the fact that recently Xbox put its Xbox Game Pass on Amazon Fire TV sticks, and it was the 4K and the 4K Max. And I also found out from somebody who watched the video that I did about this, it's also available on the Amazon Fire TV Cube, which is an older device. Yeah. So,
but doesn't that have more power? The Cube?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
So I had a chance to check it out. I purchased the 4K and the 4K Max and gave it a whirl. And overall, I'm very happy for what it does. I was able to
How's
jump
the
in
Max?
and play.
I didn't get a chance to watch your video. I don't even want to lie to you. So how's the Max?
I'm sorry, say again.
How's the 4K Max? Because I didn't get a chance to watch.
As far as what? As far as streaming. Like, am I going to be able to play Starfield in my bedroom? Oh yeah, but the problem is you're stuck at what the Xbox games are. So Xbox,
I got old TVs.
But no. So cloud streaming is still stuck at 1080p.
Oh, okay.
So it's stuck at 1080p, and Starfield, I think, on Xbox is 30 frames per second.
Yeah,
Wasn't there an update for 60 though?
Or maybe it's coming. It might be coming. I don't know if it released or it's coming with the DLC, but I know it was a post-launch thing.
Okay. So right now, if the game is only 30 frames per second on Xbox, it's 30 frames per second on this. And you can really tell that on certain games. And I won't say it's laggy or latency, but it doesn't feel good. But the games that are 60 frames per second, like I was playing a crap ton of Forza Horizon and Forza Motorsport, which I was very excited to see that Forza Motorsport ran fine. Like literally, it's a car game. You need to be able to weave in and out and turn, and it worked great. I had some audio desync issues, but the gameplay itself was amazing. I had no problems playing it. I could jump in, play whatever game I want, quit. I do hate the fact that it goes and asks you, did you play a game or was you streaming? Did you like it? What any issues you had? It's like, could you just, I want to quit the game. Stop asking me these questions. Let me pick my next game. There was a little bit of lag the first time you leave a game and go back to all the games. It has to load all the games all of a sudden. And then once it's done that, you can pick through all the games you want on Game Pass and fire right back up. I played Mortal Kombat. I played the Forzas. I played Killer Instinct. I played a bunch of games and I had no issues.
Let me tell you, when you sent the agenda for today, I immediately went and bought a 4K Max because they're only like $30 right now. I went and bought one, so it'll be here tomorrow morning. And I'm gonna set it up because for me, anything to get me out of this hot ass office, and then I know in the future they're talking about your digital library being able to be played through the cloud. So if you're saying it's not horrible, means it's gonna be perfect for me. Let me tell you, because I know your standards. For you to say it's not horrible, that means for me and my old ass TV that I've had since like college, that I'm shocked has a USB
I'm surprised
HDMI port.
And it's still running.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
I mean, yeah. Now that I think about it, well, yeah. I mean, 10 years. Yeah, so it's probably like a 10-year-old TV. Anytime your TVs are heavy, you know it's old. So
my mind automatically went back to those old Sony Vegas.
Bro, okay, let me tell you, the TV that I have right in here in my office, it's bigger than width-wise or like thickness-wise. It's bigger than like 2 inches, 2-3 inches. So you know it's an older TV. like off rip.
Is it an LCD or is it a plasma?
LED.
Oof. Hey. Right.
This is why I always tell people this goes deeper into when I review and talk about things. I am your average consumer gamer. I really am. Like, and that's the angle I always attack things from. I'm like, hey, long story short, is it fun? Who the hell do I think it's fun for? And that's why I don't talk high tech stuff, because I have nothing. None of my products will be able to capture everything at the highest peak and be able to walk that road with you. Like, I'm not. That's not who I am. I'm not that guy. Like I said, I got an LED Magnavox TV that I.
This would be perfect for you, because I literally said in my impressions that this is for, and I said I hated saying it, the casual gamer, and because it's not 4K, which it's a 4K device, but it doesn't stream in 4K, so it's like it doesn't compute. But again, Xbox has not made a lot of strides with its Xbox Cloud. We don't know why. I'm not asking why. We just know it is what it is. But for you to be able to take the Fire TV stick, plug into the back of your TV, power it on, put in your information, it says, welcome to Xbox, pick your game, play the game, and have no issues, that was fine. Now, I did see some other people on YouTube make a video and say that they were having some kind of video issues. Certain games were stuttering. Now, that depends, because that also is something that I mentioned in the video. It depends on how far you are from the data center. It depends on your upload stream from your house to the ISP and your network, your wireless network in your house. Now, for those who have crappy wireless networks, there is a dongle you can buy off Amazon. There's a bunch of dongles that you can plug it into the Fire TV stick and connect the Ethernet to it as well, so you can bypass the Wi-Fi, which I really recommend everybody to do. Yeah, those things exist. Do those. Get those. Those are better. Those are.
Hey,
I would say
it's about to be wild at the house. Hey, all of a sudden,
I'm back. Yeah, because I went and got one for it.
Oh yeah, it's game over.
I used to have one for my older Fire TV stick back in the day, but we have since migrated from Fire TVs. So yeah, you connect this into the Fire TV stick, you plug this into the power, and then you plug your Ethernet into this, and you're done. Bypass the Wi-Fi in your house.
So I actually just bought a Nest system, which really increased Wi-Fi dramatically in my house. Like it's made it like light years better than what it was, especially with the kids on their tablet and they're watching the same show on 3 different tablets and on the TV at the same time. And but it's made a huge difference for the entirety of the house. So I can only, and then those Nest system have an Ethernet port that I can plug into the backup. So
I was surprised. I was, I don't use Xbox Game Pass on my phone. I don't really play games on my phone. I just don't. But I was happy. I was very surprised. I have it upstairs in my living room now, so I don't have to take my Xbox in upstairs. The other Xbox is down here. But now we have 3 Xboxes. We have 3 Xbox Series X's. I have one in my office for gaming, testing, blah 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 blah. We bought another one to put downstairs to keep the kids out of my office, and then my son wanted an Xbox Series S for Christmas, but we got him an X. It was like $30 more. I'm like, why am I gonna buy him an S?
Yeah, get the X. Yeah,
get an X, right?
Yeah.
But I'm like, well, the one that they don't use that's in downstairs, I'm just gonna sell it because this works just fine. If they want to play a game, here you go. Use Amazon Fire TV stick, done. And the great thing about that is you don't need to pay for anything on Amazon's portion.
That
you just need the device. And
you know what's going to make it easier and why I'm super happy about it? Because I know some people were bothered. I wonder if this will take over them coming out with the family plan. Because remember, the family plan was being tested. And it kind of stopped hearing any news about it. I forgot which country. I don't know if it was Argentina. It was somewhere in South America where it was being tested, at least from what I remember. our pilot program. I wonder if this takes over for it, because now I don't need to do that whole song and dance of, okay, how many accounts? Do you have an account? Are you linked to the Xbox that has the Game Pass? Like it was this weird thing, because I have another Xbox in my living room, and then when I'm in my office playing, and all of a sudden my kid turns it on and clicks a game, now it like it's trying to log me out while I'm mid game. But with Game Pass, with the cloud, that's never an issue. You just boot up and play the cloud. It's its own.
Yeah, it's definitely something that I'm pretty sure Microsoft will think about this for a while, because I was one of the people that were complaining about back. I don't say back in the day, but previously they were working with LG, and then they started working with Samsung. But then everybody was like, "What about our Sling Bravadas? What about this? What about that?" And this removes that now. They don't have to worry about
Yep.
working with brands directly. Here, buy this dongle and plug it into whatever TV you have and call it a day. You're done. That is literally it. There's, as long as you got Wi-Fi and you got an HDMI port in the back of your TV, you're solid. And this is what it does. And the best thing about that is if I don't want to use this, I can use this.
Yeah, you can use
And I
whatever
was
you
using
want.
this
Yeah.
the entire time, and it was
Oh,
like,
that's dope.
it
Was
like,
it
all right,
was it a
fine.
good
Yes.
connection? Was it
Yes.
easy? So
Yes.
that's my next question. Does it have to Bluetooth to your TV, or does it have to Bluetooth to the Fire Stick?
It's the Bluetooth to the Fire Stick.
Good. Okay, because like I said, my older TV in my room.
Yeah, everything's
Dang
connected
on.
to the Fire Stick. The first thing I did was like, I want to use my DualSense, and it was like, fine. The only thing, I couldn't use my trackpad, obviously, but everything else worked fine. I was like, this is great. This is great.
Yeah. So that Wi-Fi 6E, it's worth it. It's not a gimmick.
No, it's not
definitely
a gimmick. It is definitely worth it.
okay. Okay.
But I will say this,
That's
like I
the one
said,
I bought. $30.
I didn't see a difference between the 4K and the 4K Max, but obviously if the 4K Max is on sale for cheap, get the 4K Max, because
Yeah.
if you end up using it for other stuff like watching TV and Plex and Netflix, where it's got more storage and it's got a better processor, you obviously want that. Of course, the only downside to this is you can't use it to stream stuff, to capture content, because you're using a device that is meant to consume data or to consume content. So you got to worry about that. I don't want to butcher it and say something else. The DHCP, which is the high bandwidth content protection, basically.
What used to ruin PlayStation games, like streaming on PlayStation?
Yeah, exactly.
I remember that.
You can't turn it off on this. I know there's gonna be some people going to go, can I turn this off? There's no option to turn this off. There's no option to turn this off.
That was so horrible. I remember even with my PS5, I had to directly plug in my HDMI to my monitor, because I was trying to go directly to my splitter first, and I had to set it up out. Like, I thought my PS5 was broke when I first bought it. I was like, great, I got a busted one. I could hear it, but there's no video. And come to find out, because of the DHCP thing, I had to go and turn it on. Then it worked with my splitter. So yeah,
that's the only downside to it. Obviously, if you're someone who likes super high visuals, you might be frustrated, because again, it's 1080p, 60 frames or 30 frames, depends on the game. But for the most people are going to be happy with this. And this leads into our next topic. But think about this for a second. I know Xbox is a very sore subject for a lot of people, myself included, because we don't know where this company is going, what they're doing. And they keep saying they're not out of the hardware business and the new hardware is coming. But then you got stuff like this. And it's like, what are you doing? What's your angle? I know you want to put your stuff for everything, but where's your angle at? But now with this, you just gained another 1 million people, or that
easy. Yeah.
I don't have to buy an Xbox Series X or S now. I just buy.
And they say that. They legit said that in a commercial. No Xbox, no problem.
So, I mean, obviously it's the cloud guys, so you are going to have issue. People that have DSL or in bad locations, you're going to have a lot of issues. It just is what it is, unfortunately. But for most people to have decent bandwidth and decent Wi-Fi in their home, this is a no-brainer. This is great. This is great stuff. So, Speaking of Game Pass recently had a price hike or is getting a price hike across the board. And this has made a lot of people frustrated, but I don't understand why that is because it is a subscription service, unfortunately, folks. And subscription services go up. They go up.
Can I tell you why everybody's frustrated? At least somebody who's not going to cancel their subscription because I use it and I love it. Let me tell you. They don't know how to deliver bad news. They have no bedside manner. Microsoft has no, and it's because they've never had to. This is, I really truly believe we're dealing with an entity that's so big and has such a dominant presence across the world that the idea of like easing information into people is weird.
Because they don't have to do it.
Exactly. They don't have to do it. It's
hey guys, we're raising the price of Windows. You're gonna suck it up because you know you need it.
That's who we're dealing with. That is who we're dealing with. So them, I always say they don't know how to be. They're not salesmen because they've never had to be. They've never had to be salesmen. And it's showing in this one branch of their organization that they have to sell.
Yeah,
this one part of their entire company that they have to sell. They suck at selling it. They suck. And so let me say this. If they would have announced this the day before that amazing showcase, it wouldn't even been that big of a deal.
I still think people would be complaining.
Of course, but you wouldn't have the fire that it is now. It wouldn't be as big because we would be saying, well, we are getting Call of Duty on top every year. Well, we are getting Activision, a bunch of Activision games. We might be getting, Lord willing, a WoW discount or a WoW subscription. Like it would be easy to sit here and be like, I get it, but when you throw this a week and 2 weeks or a month, is it a month?
Fair enough, yeah.
They have bad timing. Like you didn't just come up with this. You knew you were going to do this before that showcase. They knew. And they should have said it because that's what PlayStation does. This is why PlayStation got away with that crazy ass price hike. And
did they get away with it?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, the complaint isn't okay. Nobody would have complained to the level people are complaining about Xbox if they were the ones who were getting Call of Duty day one and Diablo in Game Pass, Call of Duty in PlayStation Plus, and if Diablo in PlayStation Plus and Call of Duty in PlayStation Plus, they would not be there. It would have been like, oh, well, that's why. You see it. Come on. The whole meme, let them spend more money. Like, make them spend more. Like, that's a whole thing with their community. So the idea, like, it's just, I don't know, man. Microsoft just needs better sales pitch. I mean, hell, I said this on Level 1's podcast, but they're the same company who the day they laid off a crap ton of people put out, do you feel the burn with their controller? This is that same company. So the marketing arm, they've never had to sell anything, and it's showing.
They're
the pretty boy, they're pretty rich kid who's never had to do anything. And now they got to do it.
So let's talk about these crappy changes. So Xbox Game Pass Ultimate is going up from $16.99 to $19.99. So $17 to $20. And I don't want to make this seem like, it's just a couple dollars, because a couple dollars.
No, it's a lot of money.
To a lot of people, it is a big deal. It's the difference between getting some food or taking care of something than doing this. So this is a big deal. There's Xbox Game Pass Standard, which is replacing Xbox Game Pass for console, which if you have that now, you keep it. But it's no longer available. You get Xbox Game Pass Standard. So what? The regular was $11. So this is going to be $15.
And I don't even think you get day. Oh, do you get day one?
Say again?
You don't get day one with that one, right?
No day one.
Yeah. Because day one's locked to PC and Ultimate, right? If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm messing up your whole flow.
No, the Game Pass, the original Game Pass for console also has day one. but you can't get that anymore. But that didn't have multiplayer, so that was great for some people who didn't care.
Yeah.
But, okay, but I'm gonna get day one Call of Duty, but I can't play online. So what? So this is why I always had the rationale that the only one that was really worth buying was Ultimate. And that was literally
yeah.
Because you got
what was it, $16 at the time?
Yeah, you got PC Game Pass, which is $10, going up to $12. Day one releases and access to the full catalog on PC, which is great if you're just a PC gamer and you don't have an Xbox. Then that's fine for you. Great. Then you have the PC Game Pass and Xbox Game Pass Core. This shit tier, $10 a month, but a 12-month subscription going up from $60 to $75. Includes multiplayer and a small catalog. A small catalog. You're getting a curated catalog of games for $10 a month or $75 a year. How do you equate?
I will say this.
That's dumb.
I will say this. If I was a kid during these days, even all of those would be a win. Either one, just throw a dart at the board, and I would have been happy. Because that's an easy sell to my parents. Like in my head, I'm like, how can I tell my parents, hey, Mom, for $70 for the cost of one game, I get online and access to a catalog of games that is constantly rotated in and out for the price of one. Can I get it? Like I could see that being
and it's still
easy
a good
sell.
This is how I actually pitched it to my son.
See,
and instead of him going, Dad, I want to get this game. Hey, you can get Game Pass and get all these games, some that you won't never play, for $70.
Yeah,
leave me alone. Here you go.
Yep.
But I don't know about this core though, man.
Yeah,
the whole thing of a small collection that bothers me because every one of these is everything. You get the whole access to the entire tier.
Do you get cloud with core?
It says online multiplayer.
No, but do you get cloud?
No, cloud's only for Ultimate.
Yeah, Ultimate's the way to go.
Yeah, that is it. They're slowly look at this. They're slowly pushing you to Ultimate. Game Pass Standard is $15. Xbox Game Pass Core is ass. PC Game Pass for $10 is ass. I'm sorry, $12.
Yeah,
$12.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
I
don't like this. And this is just our pricing. Now, think about other regions. It's going to be
like Canada.
It's going to be even more expensive. And I talked about this on Twitter where I use Bing and I do the quizzes, so I get some points every couple of days. So
I think they got rid of that.
What's that?
I don't know if you can use points anymore to get Game Pass.
No, you can. You can buy.
Oh, okay. You can still do it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I seen talks that was something that was being changed.
It's still there. I just got one. So
okay, good.
Not be going away. I'll be pissed off.
No, because didn't they just make redemption changes recently? But that's off top. Yeah, my bad.
So there's that. I mean, but come on, guys. This is me being realistic. I will never lie to you people. The moment they bought Activision, the moment they got Call of Duty, that they're going to go, we may be one of the richest tech companies in the world, but I'll be damned if I'm going to lose all this money.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go, how are we going to, I don't want to say screw over our
how are we going to recoup our spending power?
How are we going to get that money back? And you don't need to do that. I would wager they would have got more people if they had just left the pricing the way it is, because they didn't need to do that. You're not hurting for money. You're not hurting for money. And I guarantee you're going to lose some people. They're going to go, well, this is bogus. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I can't afford it, or I don't want to do it. I've already seen people on Twitter, and this comes from a lot of diehard Xbox fans, which bothers me because they're like, well, I'm just going to go PC gaming now. I'm like, please don't do that. Please don't do that. If you don't know, I'm not saying the PC gaming is hard, because it's come a long way But I don't want you jumping in the PC game and go, well, this stuff is not kind of, it's not very intuitive, and I'm having issues, and blah 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 blah. I should have went back to console. Well, you're the one that jumped from one thing to another without paying attention.
Yep. Because the plug and play days, if you're trying to do that with PC, go buy a pre-built and call it a day. Because all that extras, it's not for everybody.
It's gotten better. I mean,
yeah.
I will always advocate for PC gaming, but I would never say, oh, I'm pissed off at Xbox because they're raising the prices. I'm jumping to PC game. No. If you're saying I want a PC game because I like what's on the platform, I like the ease of use, I like getting access to better hardware and things like that, then yeah, fine, jump on in, let's go. But if you're complaining because of a price change, homie,
that's not enough. Yeah,
you jumping into a $6, $7, $8, $9, $3, $4,000 machine because you're mad at Game Pass? Don't do that. That's stupid. Don't do that. That's just stupid. I'm not saying that you're stupid. I'm just saying that.
But it's not a good decision. If that's the core, the base of why you're building your PC gaming life is because of a price hike.
Yeah, don't do that. You'll hurt yourself in the long run. Then you'll get mad. PC gaming sucks. And then I got to fight you like I'm fighting Greg Miller because.
And then your AAA game that you've been waiting on that's releasing on your old favorite console and PC is going to have major issues on PC for the first like 2 months, or it'll be a Batman situation and just won't fix at all. Like,
oh my god,
like that. Man. But that's a reality. But that's a reality that you often see when it comes to AAA games.
I'm glad that it's not as rampant as it was. I mean, there's still a lot of issues, but that's because developers, I don't want to say developers are lazy, but I think a lot of developers are taking the easy way out. I think a lot of developers are relying on pre-built, pre-packaged game engines, Unreal Engine, and jumping to that and going, okay, our stuff run everywhere. And then you have these issues and they're like, why is our game running like crap? When you have companies that make their own game engine or are using their own game engine and just modify it, and they have a better chance of having a game that runs well. You know, Elden Ring's a great example, guys. Elden Ring runs like crap on every platform, unfortunately. But then you got Armored Core 6, which is using the same damn game engine, and it runs perfect on every platform. Flawless on PC, ultra-wide support, 120 frames per second, 4K, flawless. Yeah. All right. Don't do it. Don't jump to PC if you know what you're doing. Just stay there with Xbox. A couple of dollars, if you can afford it, go for it. Or just don't get it and call it a day.
Yep.
It's gaming. It's not that important, folks.
You know what? It does for me, ultimately for me. I'm sorry, I got moving my chair around. ADD's kicking in. But the ultimate thing for me is what you mentioned earlier is I am never against price hikes. I'm sorry, especially against when if it's a mom and pop shop, you got it. You got it. Like I'm okay with that. I can rationalize that in my head. But when you're the second richest company on planet Earth,
that's the problem.
What do you mean you need more? For what? And this for chasing the dragon of freaking profit over profit over profit over last year's profit over last year's profit. Like that is gonna. It's not like. Isn't that insane? I know it's off topic, but isn't that insane that it's not that they're trying to make more money? It's more money than they made last year, and then the money they made last year is more than God's
because it's not enough.
Like,
because it's not enough.
Like
we've made $10 billion last year, and that's not enough for you.
Like we have to increase those numbers. We need a better ROI next year. What do you mean? Why?
That's the investors. That's the investors talking, saying we want more money. We want our stock to go up. We need more of this. We need more of that. And then, unfortunately, it's not just Microsoft. It's a lot of companies.
It's all companies.
Their investors, their investors run the company. That is literally it. We want a better ROI. We want more, a better return on the money that we invested in this company. It's literally it. And it's like, but you got to think about that for a second. Microsoft, you didn't need to do this.
You're the
You
second richest
are
company on Earth.
second, first, third. It keeps flip flopping, but
Yeah.
you're never going to hurt between Windows and your SQL Server and your Outlook and your Office suites and your Surface laptops and your everything that you're selling right now. Everything, not
Yeah.
just that, your cloud and the partnership that you have. You are recouping money hand over fist nonstop. You probably just made another $1 billion the time I said this.
Yeah, easy.
So there was no reason to introduce this price hike.
And you were making money with Game Pass before the price hikes.
Yeah.
What were they making, like $2 billion a year or something like that? Some crazy number. Like money was being made. It's not like, oh, and it's funny because when you got it, and that's the insane part of all of this. That's why I'm never for price hikes. Like, because there's just no story good enough you can tell me. I'm not for layoffs. I'm not for price hikes. Like, I'm not for any of those things because you can't explain, like, oh, well, because we lost revenue. Oh, you mean you lost 10% of the 100% growth you had last year?
But I think the problem with that is the company is always going to look at, because even when the job I worked at, a loss is a loss is a loss is a loss.
And that's insane.
You got to lose money to make money, people. It balances out in the end of the day.
Yes,
okay, we price hike this, and now what about the people that are going to go, I can't afford this, or I don't want to afford this, or I'm upset about this? The people that just knee-jerk reactions. I'm done. Cancel.
Yep. Because there's a lot of those. There's a lot of people who, oh, yeah. What do you mean they added this or took away that? Oh, I'm out.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of YouTubers out there like, oh, Xbox Game Pass. Oh, I'm done. Like, oh, my God. Yeah, okay. Thanks for that, guys. I'm done. But let's switch over to something positive. And it's not gaming. It's not gaming. So I don't know about you, Baron, but I am a big fan of Marvel Comics and sort of the Marvel, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I have been frustrated as of late, but I have been looking forward to this upcoming movie. Marvel's Captain America Brave New World dropped this trailer, and it was great. It was great.
Yeah.
We got to see the new suit for Sam Wilson, Captain America. We got to see Harrison Ford back replacing forgot the gentleman's name who passed away.
Yeah,
was it William Hurt? I believe it was.
Something like that, yeah.
He passed away. So Harrison Ford, which I don't know. He's not a good replacement, not at all for the gentleman they lost.
What the guy who played, I can't believe I'm blanking on his name, but the guy who played K in Men in Black, I think he would have been great.
God, now you're making me forget his name.
Tommy Jones? Is it Jones? Tommy Lee Jones or something like that? But
yeah.
But I think him or I would even took like Benicio del Toro. I think that'd have been badass.
Really?
Yeah, just a mean, rugged, like stern.
Harrison doesn't have that ruggedness that it was William Hurt, I believe. He doesn't have that. So he's now that is Thunderbolt Ross, and now he's the president, and now Captain America or Sam Wilson and him are talking, and he wants to make Captain America a part of the military. He tried that again back in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that didn't work out well. If you did not watch that series, go watch it. I know a lot of people clown on it, but I think it's one of the best ones.
I thought it was great.
I love it.
Cop drama.
People like, this is no good, blah blah blah. A lot of it was, this can't be a black Captain America. I was like, oh my God, shut up. Go read the comics. There is a black Captain America. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. And that's happening now with this one. And it's just like, shut up.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not going to spoil the trailer. Go watch it. It's got a lot of stuff in it that if you like the comic books, they're bringing a lot of stuff from the comic books, especially Red Hawk is here. He's finally in the cinematic universe. Finally. We've been waiting for this one, which is weird because we don't have OG Hawk really anymore.
Yeah.
They've completely changed that guy. It's not the same Hawk. So it's going to be interesting to see how this Red Hawk reacts. Is it going to be, because there were two Red Hawks. One of them was,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there was two Red Hawks. There was Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross Red Hawk, and then there was another guy who could only turn into a Hulk for like an hour or so. So there were two different.
Which that actually doesn't sound bad. I would take that deal. I would take an hour of
That
Hulk
comic,
abilities.
it was like some kind of limited series thing.
Oh, like
we
a
had
one shot
series because the Thunderbolt Ross had actually got cured. There was this weird. So basically, Bruce Banner had made an AI, and the AI basically was trying to. It was all weird. It was weird. Basically, he was depowering all the Hawks because it didn't think the world needed Hawks anymore. So he depowered Red Hawk. He depowered A-Bomb, which was Rick Jones. He tried to depower She-Hulk. That didn't happen. I think he depowered Red She-Hulk, and then he sent the Hawk's daughter. He has a daughter to another timeline, and I forgot what he did with
Damn.
There was one more.
Sound like some X-Men stuff.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird.
Sounds like X-Men.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see that they're bringing back that is Thunderbolt Ross. I'm just going to say Ross Hawk, Red Hawk. And it's going to be interesting because if you watch the trailer, I hope you do, at the very end, we see Captain America toss his shield at the Hawk, and the Hawk grabs his shield and just tosses it into the ground. It's like Steve Rogers, Captain America, could not fight the Hawk. So Sam Wilson, Captain America, unless you got something in that suit, you're not fighting the Hawk either.
At all. Yeah.
But as you know, these trailers never are representative of the movie. They're just there to get you hyped for the movie, and it could be something completely different. We have no idea what's going on there. So
didn't this movie go through a few reshoots as well?
I think they did, and a title change as well, because it was supposed to be Captain America, the Serpent Society. And they're actually, the people that are in the Serpent Society are actually in this movie still. So they didn't change that. They just changed the title. There is no Winter Soldier. There is no Bucky in this one, which is weird. But also, he's in his own upcoming movie, the Thunderbolts. That's coming out next year as well. So that could be why he's not in there. But yeah, I've been a big fan of Captain America. My entire life has been patterned behind Captain America and Spider-Man and Optimus Prime, like do that thing. So I'm looking forward to this. I really like Sam Wilson as Captain America just because he brings a complete different dynamic. He has to do things differently than Steve Rogers. He's not a super soldier. He has to pay attention. He has to be smarter. And he's black.
I was about to say, and he's black, so you got to move it that way.
It's completely different timing. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that, because if you watch the Falcon Winter Soldier, you got a glimpse of how that was. He even said, I'm a black man wearing the stars and stripes. How do you think I feel right now? So and that was the touching part. They really got into it with today's politics, today's landscape, going, hey, he can't be Captain America because he's black. What does that got to do with it? And even now, you got people on Twitter getting mad because that's not Captain America. He's black. And homie, what are you talking about? Did you not see the last show? Did you not read the comics? There are literally right now 2 Captain Americas, Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson. There is literally one comic. I think it's from the recent run of Captain America, or it might be the last run, where they both got done. Taking down a rocket and they fell into a lake or something, and they're both like, how about we both be Captain America? And it was like, yeah, I like that idea. And that is literally it. They literally say we're both Captain America. Like, so, but whatever. If you haven't seen the trailer, please go check it out. The movie comes out, when is it?
Oh, I missed the date.
Next year, I think. When is that coming out?
I'll say this. I'll say this though. What I liked is it felt I like the what's the
February.
word?
It's coming on Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah. They're definitely pushing for black folks to get on and support it. They're trying to give it the Black Panther treatment.
Why should you going to see Captain America on Valentine's Day? No flowers for you.
Gotta go to the movies, and then we gotta go to the one where they serve dinner. One where they serve dinner and make it fancy. But what I like about it is it felt like almost grounded. Like the trailer gave it a grounded feel, like it's going to be more Cloak and Dagger and drama. Of course, there's going to be the big fight scenes, but there's going to be a lot of like movement behind. Like that's what I liked about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It felt like a buddy cop. It had a to earth feel, and that's hey, if we're out of the age of the god superheroes of the first wave of Avengers, then go that route. Go grounded. Like that's okay. That's not bad. Like I grew up on nothing but grounded action movies. like come on.
I don't really think we're done with the the over the top because again, we've still got the cosmic stuff to go through, so we're not done. What's happening here, and also the Falcon is back because I forget what his name was.
His partner's name, yeah.
So if you've read the Falcon or the Captain America and the Falcon comics, after Sam became Captain America, that guy became the Falcon, and he actually became an actual Falcon creature due to something that happened, and he was able to command or use Sam's bird, Redwing. But Sam doesn't have Redwing in here. It's just a little robotic thing jig. It's not an actual bird, but still. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I can't wait to check out this movie. I will be there Valentine's Day, and if it's good, I'll be back again, probably the same day to watch it again. Nice. I gotta support those movies. So this topic is actually from something that happened on Twitter today. So a gentleman posted he's tired of the Souls likes. Why do companies keep making Souls likes, and what happened to hack and slash games? And outside of saying, there's Stellar Blade that just came out not too long ago, that you forget about that game, and Nier Automata came out a couple years ago, and Devil May Cry,
Final Fantasy 16.
I get it. That genre.
Final Fantasy 16 was a hack and slash. Like we're being honest.
It was an RPG though. I
beat a major boss with one attack.
I think he wants to go back to the days of where there was always a hack and slash, and we're just beyond those days because, to be honest, the hack and slash genre just got repetitive and boring, and that was it. How many ways can you do something? You need to have something to entice people to play. I'm not saying that it's bad to have that power fantasy, but there's a reason why these Souls-like games do well, because people are able to live out that power fantasy and do it the way they want to do it. The days of over-the-top, super fast, blinding speed hack and slash games have been going for a while. Even the recent God of War wasn't really that fast. It was slowed down. It's just they don't do those anymore. No.
I have a weird take. I think because of course everything is cyclic. The same way we're seeing a rise of beat 'em ups, especially mainstay. I mean, hell, we're getting a Power Rangers beat 'em up. Like you should have heard me. I lost it at Summer Game Fest when they showed that. I went
crazy. I was like, what?
I lost it. And then when they showed the whole like old school mini game stuff where you could actually even fight in the damp. But my point, everything is cyclic. We're getting a lot of platforming games again. I mean, you got a Kimbot, you got these things are coming back. I wonder if we're gonna get character action games again, like if it's gonna make its way, because you got to think sides like Castle Metroidvanias, they never go away, but
they never go away.
They never go away. But it's we're even seeing classic shooters like freaking I can't believe I'm blanking on it.
You got another Doom coming out.
Yeah, but even like the whole, I don't know, I can't think of like the name of one, but I'm trying to think of the style. The old school Doom. Like we're getting those type of shooters back, pixelated, classic looking shooters. Like the boomer. Yeah, there you go.
Dumb name.
But you understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
These games are coming back big time. Like big time. There's a lot of them. And so I'm wondering when when the hack and slash time frame is going to spin back. Because
there are a couple of them coming. They're not from AAA, AA companies. They're again, the indies are leading the charge. And I know there's like at least 3 of them that I'm watching that are being worked on right now. And of course, leave it to the indie developers to go back and go, we've missed this genre of game. Let's go ahead and bring it back. Just like there's one gentleman who's making a racing game that's very similar to Sega's Virtual Racing. And I can't wait for that game to come out. I'm gonna follow that game. Hurry up, Raj Games. Get that done, man. I want to play that. You got me hooked on that.
But I think things go in waves, and it's funny how we're chasing. I mean, we're living in a day where what is, I can't believe I'm blanking on the name. I'm so sorry. The Vampire Survivors almost won awards.
Yeah.
Like where that was a mega hit success. We're so it's like we went to this grand scheme, big, massive games. I mean, even Helldivers at its core is simple.
Yeah.
Like we're looking, it's almost like we're thriving and looking for simplicity again as a collective, not individually, because I'm playing Once Human, which has mechanics from like 30 different games stuffed into one, and then a cool first person mode that outside of sprinting, you could play the game in first person. It even has like the animation of the reload, and it looks amazing. But that's beside the point. I wonder if it'll get there. I mean, Wanted Dead was a hack and slash, wasn't it? Yeah, it didn't do well. But
it didn't do well. It didn't do well for the right reason. I forgot about that game for a reason. I don't think we just like beat 'em ups, like you mentioned. We thought they were gone, and then they just started coming back in a big way. So they're never gone. It just depends on a person to bring them back. And push comes to shove, we got the Musais. They never go away. They're hack and slash. They're all hack and slash, mindless hack and slash games. And we got
what's a Musai? Break me down.
Koei Tecmo's or
like Dynasty Warriors and stuff like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're good. And please, people, go play Battlestorm and Battlestorm Nightmare. It's an offshoot of Dynasty Warriors. Most people don't like them, but please go play it.
Yeah, we've got those, and we've got another one coming from Omega Force. So they're not going away. So there is your mindless hack and slash power fantasies right there. When in doubt, Omega Force has you covered. And if you still want hack and slash games, there's a big catalog of games from back in the day, and I hate saying back in the day because it's not really that far along, that you can go play. All the Bayonetas, even though it sucks the last two are on Switch. Yeah. We've got all the Devil May Cries. We've got a couple games that emulated Devil May Cry. There was another game that came out not too long ago on PC and consoles, and it was a Souls-like game, but it was more of a hack and slash game. I think it was like I can't remember the name of it. I want to find it though, because
not the Mesia.
Yeah.
I thought that was a Souls game.
It's a hack and slash Souls game.
Yeah. I'll give you that. That's fair.
It's much faster than a Souls-like game. I really like that game.
That we had I forgot who reviewed it, but somebody on the team reviewed it, and it actually did okay. It just, I think it got washed out around a bunch of other games. Yeah, and the hype for Elden Ring. Yeah. And then Remnant 2, it just got washed. When
you have a game, and that's another thing I don't want to talk about here, but when you have developers going, we're going to release our game, and you don't look at all these potential juggernauts coming that are just going to take over your game, and you're like, well,
this is, and I always wonder with that, like, is that when the suits really shoot themselves in the foot? Like, it's almost like they doom their, like, no, you need to release this quarter. But this quarter is the biggest game that people have been waiting on for 10 years that's adjacent to our genre. But it needs to go out this quarter for the books because the fiscal year starts next month.
Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree came out. Everybody should have went, you know what? For the next 2 months, just delay
everything.
Delay all these games. All of them. All of them.
Yeah.
Even right now, there's games coming out like Flintlock. I've been looking for this game for a while. And I feel bad for Flintlock because I really think it's going to get overshadowed because everybody is still playing Elden Ring.
Yep.
And because this is a Souls light, not a Souls like, it's still going to be overshadowed big time. And I hope it doesn't happen because I really want this game to do well.
Same.
But Elden Ring.
Well, isn't it getting the Game Pass stimulus package?
Yes.
Flintlock?
I hate that you say that.
It's a real thing. I feel like I've coined that term. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say it before me. I don't like to toot my horn, but I'm going to toot my horn on that
and
one.
what he means is this game is coming out day one on Game Pass.
Mm-hmm. The Game Pass stimulus package.
And it is.
Because, hey, it is a very real thing, especially with some decent marketing. Some halfway decent marketing with the Game Pass stimulus package is like, it's at least a infield home run. Like you are double for sure. Like, come on. All it takes is a little marketing. Here's a splash screen. Here's a animated. Like, I feel like every game that gets a day one release on Game Pass should get some type of animated background. What are they called? Those background
dynamic background.
Dynamic background. Like, come on. You're Microsoft. It's one of the richest companies on earth, not in the U.S. I always say Earth. Like, it just.
You gotta remember, it's the mindset. It's you. Here's my thing. I've always said this. If you're a company that is entrenched in gaming, you need to have actual gamers at your company.
Yes, 1,000%.
You need to. It's that simple. They'll be the ones to tell you yes, no, it's not a good idea, it's a bad idea. Or just to run things past them. If you just have nothing but suits, and I'm not directing this directly at Microsoft because I'm not, and I'm not clowning on Microsoft or Xbox.
No, because plenty of companies do it.
Yeah, plenty of companies do this, and it's like, why are you doing this?
This is why Fallout show was great. This is why The Last of Us show is great, and this is why Halo struggles the way it does. Like,
well, there's a lot of reasons why Halo struggles,
but I mean, if you think about it, everybody at the helm of the main forces behind the Fallout TV series and The Last of Us, it's either people who were directly involved with the game or very adjacent to it. Like, and that plays a big part. So just kind of piggybacking off of you saying gamers need to be in the room.
Yeah, they need to be in the room.
Yeah,
calling the shot sometimes. But yep. Hack and slash indie games are in control. You'll be okay. And again, go play some Musaj, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, folks, this is something that always seems to happen. Again, there are more gaming outlets being laid off. This time we got one, the Loadout, which is more of a esports related website. And I think because the esports boom is pretty much over, and that everybody's doing esports coverage, and they haven't come out directly and said what drove them to shut down the site, but the staff is gone, and I'm more than likely thinking that it's also because of Google. A lot of people, including myself, were talking about this and looking at the traffic of the site, and they were affected by Google's stupid, excuse me for saying retarded, I know that's a bad word, silly SEO and analytics going down the drain and killing their traffic. It's bad. It's hurting a lot of us. But
yeah,
the problem with sites like this is they're ran by corporations, and when corporations are not there to go, you know what, we're going to hold the line and we're just going to wait and see what happens. They go, we're losing money. I don't see anything happening. Kill it. We don't want to pay anybody any more money. Just kill the site, get rid of the staff, and call it a day. And that's what happens. And people lose their livelihoods, and they got to look for new jobs in a industry that's already volatile, super volatile, because we're seeing layoffs after layoff after layoff, and it's hurts. And then we got Gfinity Digital, which is laying off a bunch of people. They're saying redundancy, which again happens when corporations buy out websites, and they go, well, we got 5 websites that do the same thing. We don't need all these people. Then why did you buy all these?
Why'd you buy them? And we already know there's another big company out there who bought up a bunch of sites. And
yeah, I'm waiting for that.
I'm waiting for that.
I've been waiting for that. I'm waiting to see the backlash to that. It's coming. It's definitely
It
coming.
has to, because they bought a lot. But once again, we're letting we when you try to, I mean, hell, it's so many levels to this because you can't even just type in a search on Google anymore without it popping up what you're looking for. It's so many layers to this, and then when you got the companies that are like in control of how things are popped out, the results, search results, it's SEO is the death of us.
Yeah.
SEO is the death of us, and then everybody playing the SEO game, and then the people who created the SEO are like tweaking the SEO to benefit them, and not
they're breaking the rules. They're literally breaking their own rules. Like Google signed a deal with Reddit so they can use Reddit's information to train their AI. So Reddit is getting top billing on traffic. Not that they didn't need it, because Reddit is already one of the biggest websites in the world.
Yeah.
And now Google's just shooting everybody, go, oh, well. And
Reddit pops up on any search.
And what makes it worse, if you haven't been paying attention, if you go to Google and you type something, it'll bring up, it'll scrape your website, and then its AI will give you the answer from your website without giving you the traffic.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
so then you got to deal with legacy sites. So now in the gaming space, you got to compete with AI scraping. You got to compete with Reddit. Then then on top of that, you got to compete with legacy sites who have been going and buying up smaller sites,
or taking people's content,
and
not giving them credit for it.
That we see it all the time. Especially, I know it's happened to you a bunch. Then you got to compete with everybody who's adjacent to you.
Yep.
And this is like that's before anything else.
Yep.
Then that doesn't even count the pay to play. That doesn't. I wonder, does pay to play even carry the same weight anymore?
It does, but the problem is you've got so many different people, companies that will let you pump your stuff other places. Like Facebook ads used to be big. I don't think it's big anymore, but Google ads is still big because it's Google ads. There are other companies that take your content and will pump it at different locations, and it's very hit and miss on that as well. So
I'm gonna tell you, I'm when I forgot who went out of business. I think we were talking behind the scenes. I was like, I was talking with you behind the scenes, and I was like, I really think we're gonna see a upswing in blog sites and smaller spaces because all the upper mids are being bought up by the legacy sites, and then they're getting, like we're seeing now, getting laid off and are absorbed completely. So now it's the big dogs and then blog sites. So
we're seeing them now because, like, Easy Allies and the Second Wins and things like that. We're definitely seeing them. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here, guys. It's
weird.
It's tough out there. Trust me, we both run our own sites, and I don't know how many times I've tried to throw in the towel, and it's just getting frustrating. And then watching Google, you look at your analytics and you go, traffic, great. What happened?
Yeah.
It's gone. It's gone. No reason. You did everything you're supposed to do, just gone.
Or you get a random upswing. Like you get a random, I couldn't tell you why, but a random upswing. And I'm almost afraid to talk about it because it's like talking about a no-hitter. Like, I don't want to talk to the pitcher. I don't know. I stopped worrying about it because me, I stressed over it every day, and I was like, I can't do it anymore. I can't control it. I just do what we do. We do what we have to do, and we'll leave it, see what happens there. But yeah. All right. We've been going a little long here. Trying to get you off of here. One last topic, and then we're out of here for today. Is there anything specific, game and or movie, that you're looking forward to this month? So, Long Legs just came out yesterday.
I heard about that.
I want to go see it. I'm looking forward to a good thriller, good serial killer drama. Twisters. Okay. Twister,
I don't know.
Jurassic Park, and these are just like they feel good summer movies. Like I always feel like no matter what, when it's summer, I gotta watch these movies. Twister was a staple in my household. Twister and Jurassic Park.
My wife loves that movie. But
yeah, Twister is an amazing movie.
But she saw the remake and she's like, "What is this?" I was like,
I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it. And then Deadpool, of course.
Yeah.
And then, of course, gaming-wise, Flintlock, even though I don't think I'm really going to play it because my backlog is silly, but I know Fame, I'm excited for him because I know that's a game he's really been looking forward to. And then Kunitsugami is another game that I'm glad is going to get a big shine because they really, I don't know how they could have sold it, but I don't think they really marketed that game for what it really is because a lot of people don't know it's a tower defense game. Like at its core, it's a mobile tower defense, and like at its like simplest form. But yeah, and I think it's gonna make some waves. Capcom's they've been on a run.
Yeah,
they really. And then you got like but that's what I'm looking forward to this for the rest of this month.
Deadpool, obviously, I definitely want to see Deadpool, Wolverine, Deadpool, whatever the hell it's called. I definitely want to see that. Yes, Flintlock. Been looking for that game for the last 2 years. Cannot wait to play. I know there's a demo. I told them on Twitter I'm not playing your demo. I just want to play the full game. I just want to see what you guys got cooking. There's not really a lot of stuff here that I really want to check out gaming wise this month. I might give Once Human a try just because I'm curious about it, but nothing upcoming. Not this month. This month is not it. There's a couple games coming next month, but not this month. Not this month. Actually, let me check something here because I'm gonna cheat. Say which there's a specific game coming out this in August that I want to play. I don't remember what it was. Oh well, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Oh right, that's right. Deathbound. Because I played a lot of that.
Oh shit, that does come. Excuse me, that does come out.
Deathbound comes out. Antonia, the Last Song comes out.
That's this month?
In August.
Oh, August. Oh, I was like, Jesus, Church of
Gungan Breaker 4.
You're not gonna play it.
Visions of Mana. Star Wars.
And that's gonna be on Xbox. That's next. Okay, see, you didn't say next month because next month is the hitter.
I just said I'm going to cheat.
Okay. Because next month is dope.
Yeah, next month is loaded. It's like maybe I don't want to go back to work just yet. Let me just sit down a couple more days and play some games. Next month is bonkers.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. I think Krieg's Front comes out too, which is a turn-based from Tollgate Productions.
Which one?
I think that Krieg's Front Tactics. Doesn't that come out next month? Or is that September?
No, might be September.
Okay. That's going to be a cool one too. This year we got Armored Core, Frontline 2 remake. We got Krieg's Front Tactics that's coming out. You got Grit and Valor. There's a bunch of mech games that are pretty badass.
I'm waiting for that new one, that Mech Breaker, but I don't know when that's coming out. I don't think it's coming anytime soon.
And then you got that Power Rangers where they let you see the perspective of the mech. That was great.
Yeah, but that's not coming out anytime soon.
I know, but that game looks badass. It reminded Super Nintendo. It immediately took me to Super Nintendo. I was like, oh yeah. Oh, and then the mini games, like the old school, like Sonic mini games, like, bro.
I know that game is going to get a big push once it comes out because all the old school gamers are going to go Power Rangers. Let's go.
Sign me up. And then if they have crossplay and jump in, jump out multiplayer.
I think that's asking too much, but we could probably reach out to the company and go, hey, how about you do this? If you're not thinking about this already, do this now.
Please, because if you got drop in, drop out, hey, y'all, whoever's on, like, find a match. Like, please, because I know this is completely off topic, but that's something this day and age that is so necessary. Like, fine, you're not going to give me couch co-op. You're going to make it to where I have to have 2 consoles to play this one game with my family. Fine. But damn it, let me be able to jump in with any rando across the world who's trying to get this done. Like, don't make me be the only person.
The great thing about that, at least on PC, we got Parsec and we got Steam Remote Play. So we got that going, and that's nice. So, all right, folks, we've been going a little bit too long, so we're going to go ahead and sign out here. But before we do, Baron, tell everybody where they can find you up on the socials, sir.
Yes. So anywhere I want you to find me personally is Baron J67. And for where I work and what I do, it's LV1 Gaming, lv1gaming.com, youtube.com/lv1gaming20. On TikTok, it's tiktok.com/lv1gaming. Twitch is lv1_gaming. Instagram, everywhere else is lv1gaming. Yes.
All right. And you know where you guys can find me at. I'm stuck here at the Outerhaven. You can find us here on Twitter, YouTube. It's all the Outerhaven. Also, check us out at theouterhaven.net. And you can check out Spectator Mode Podcast at Spotify, Buzzsprout, Amazon Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Podcasts, and wherever else podcasts are. And as always, thanks for checking out Spectator Mode. This has been episode 160, and we'll see you guys on the next one.